What is up? This is SM127. I'm going to be reacting to Squatter Steals Home from Family in today's video. So this is a double feature. In other words, that means that there's going to be two movies. That means that there's going to be two different films in this video. There's going to be two different parts. It's going to be one after the other. So this video will count as 2 episodes. And they're going to have their own special rating scale. Because there's 2 parts, each part is going to be worth 500 points. So the whole video altogether will be rated out of 1,000 points. The whole video will be rated together out of 1,000 points. So it is 2,000 or 1,700 for some people that live in Pacific time. For the people that live in Pacific time, that's 1,700. So we have a double feature. So this is going to be a long run. So we have a double feature. Or maybe I'll just write the whole thing out of 1,000 points all at once. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So we have a double.
What do you think you're doing?
What
Get
you
off
think
my
you're doing?
property.
Get
Your
off of my
property.
property, you
This is my
twins.
mother's house. Not anymore. It's my house now.
What?
Get lost.
Get lost. What are you
Are
talking
you crazy?
about?
Huh? Look, you have 2 minutes to get out of my house before I call the cops. Go right ahead and call them. Fine.
Yeah,
You wanna go to jail?
He's gonna get arrested.
Fine by me.
He's gonna go to jail.
You believe this?
He sounds like he wants to go to jail.
Officers, you have to help. There's a squatter living in my house and he refuses to leave.
Do you live here?
Not yet. My mother left it to me after she passed.
Can you show any proof that you own the home, sir?
Not on me, but I mean, we just left the estate lawyer's office.
Okay. We'll handle this.
Yeah, after his mother passed away, now it's his house. It says so in the will.
Oh, thank goodness you're here, officers. These people just showed up claiming they owned this house, but it's mine. They're nuts.
Nuts? What
Your
are you
house.
talking about?
Can you prove that?
Sure can. Look, here are my utility bills.
Yep, he pays the bills, not you.
Thank you, sir. Sorry to have bothered you with this.
Wait a minute, what are you doing? What are you doing? Arrest him.
Sir, let's keep calm. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave this man's property.
But it's not his property, it's mine. I grew up in this house.
That
Exactly.
may be what, according to the state of California, this man has rights too. Those bills show that he's been living here for at least 3 months.
That's because my mother was in a hospice.
She was in hospice care.
Maybe so, but legally, there's nothing we can do.
All right, maybe there's nothing that you can do, but I am not gonna let some
up.
squatter
Don't
steal
give
my
up.
mother's house.
Settle down, that's enough!
Please, let's just go.
Why
Now
are
he's
you
getting
arresting me when
arrested.
he's the criminal?
I warned you.
Okay, so let me get this straight.
Got it on video.
Instead of arresting the man who stole my house, you protect him and arrest me.
Yeah, they arrested him.
It's lunacy.
Yeah, they're such lunatics.
We agree with you. It's not right, but we have to follow the law. And you have to be smart about how you try to fight this. If you go back barging into the house, you're just gonna end up back here behind bars.
Behind bars.
That's what he wants.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
Get a lawyer.
Exactly. Get a lawyer.
A good one.
Thanks
You
for
gotta
picking
make
me
sure
up.
you have a good lawyer.
So how much bail cost us?
800.
It's almost everything that we had left after paying for the funeral.
Excuse me, sir. Can you spare some change?
I'm sorry, man. We're going through tough times, too.
I understand. I'm just trying to get some bus fare to go see my daughter.
What are you doing? You just said we have almost no money left.
Look, I know. But as a dad with a daughter, I can't imagine how I would feel if I couldn't see you. And the one thing that your grandma taught me,
Yeah?
whenever you can help someone, do it.
Whenever you can help someone, do
Because
it.
it'll always come back to you. Hey, bub. Go see your daughter.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Got it, man.
That's all the money that they had.
So, what are we gonna do now? About the house?
We're gonna get ourselves a lawyer. Get your grandma's house back.
But with what money?
Don't worry about it, okay, sweetheart?
That was the
I'm
last
afraid
$5
this sort
that
of
they
thing
had.
is happening more and more. Unfortunately, squatters have found ways to make the system work for them, and it's
And
a
it
real
is not
nightmare.
looking good.
So, what does that mean for our case?
It means it's going to be a very lengthy and expensive process.
How expensive?
Conservatively, you're looking at around 3.5 months to a year
3
just to get
months.
this in front of a judge, and that'll run you in the neighborhood of $80,000 in legal
$80,000.
fees alone.
Just legal fees.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes. You know, my mother loved that house, and I love that house, and I am not gonna let someone just take that away from us.
$80,000. That's a lot.
We can't afford 80,000.
I'll handle it. Just trust me.
Are you sure about that?
With
Let's
the
try
collateral you have available, we can offer you a loan of $50,000.
that. 50,000. That's still 30,000
Dad, are you sure
short.
about this? We don't even know if the lawyer can get the guy out of the house.
But what other choice do I have?
You can get rid of the house, can't you?
Sweetie, I can't do that. I can't.
Hey, that's $30,000 short anyway.
Determined to get his mother's house back and his loan secured, Mark got to work. The first step was to serve the squatter with a
With
formal
an
eviction
eviction
notice.
notice. Yeah.
But the squatter
Evict him.
knew just how to work the system. By refusing to show up to his court appearances, the judge was
That's
forced to
bad.
delay the proceedings. The squatter knew the longer he could draw the case out, the more expensive it would become for Mark, and sooner or later, that Mark would run out of money.
Down to
But
$187.
Mark was determined not to quit. He took out another loan to keep fighting,
More
going
loans.
deeper into debt.
He's digging himself a hole.
When the squatter finally did show up to court, he filed a motion to delay the proceedings even longer, putting Mark in serious financial hardship.
Oh. It's getting worse. It's going south, not north.
You can't keep doing this to yourself, Dad. It's killing you. I don't know, maybe it's time to give up.
Give up?
Yeah. Just a house.
It's not just a house.
to me. That's the house that I learned how to walk. I grew up in that
Yeah,
house.
he grew up in that house.
I met your mom on the front
He grew
lawn
up in that house.
when she moved
He
in next
learned how
door.
to walk in that house.
That
he
house
was potty trained in that house.
Means more to me than just money.
He was raised in that house.
And it
He
meant
was-
a whole lot more to
like,
your
he's based-
grandmother than you will
his
ever
house
know.
Was, that house was basically a piece
She
of
worked
it.
her whole life to pay off that house after my dad died. She sacrificed everything. And it wasn't for herself. It was for me. She did it for us.
What do you mean for us?
She wanted to leave the house to me. And then she wanted me to leave the house to you someday. That's all she ever dreamed of.
Yeah.
That house is the only thing that we have left for her. It's a monument of her life.
Yeah, that house is a monument. Is a monument.
Not let some
Don't
criminal
let
take that away from
goddamn
us.
Criminal, take that away from you.
I just owe her that much at least.
So, my wife and I, we went on a cruise for a week. It was just a week.
Yeah?
That was long enough for us to lose our house. When we got back, we learned that squatters had taken over our house. When we went to the police, they said they couldn't do anything about it.
The same thing.
It's been 3 years of court battles.
3 years?
We're still any closer to getting our house back.
No close.
Now I'm broke, man.
Not even close.
We're living in a motel.
Living in a motel.
I don't know what we're gonna do.
This is what happens if he keeps on going deeper and deeper in debt. You want to continue going down that path?
Okay, so, until today, I had never seen my father cry. He's always just so upbeat and so happy.
And always the
and
definition
he
of a
seriously
strong
is
man
the
and
best
stuff
dad
like that.
ever.
But even men
That
cry
was
too, for the record.
before the squatter. You see, while my grandmother
You don't
was dying
have
in
to
hospice,
not
some
cry in order to be
squatter
manly.
just moved into her house and took it over. Here.
What we're trying to do
And
is
it has
dismantle
been a
toxic
nightmare
masculinity.
since then. That house was the last
Allowing
thing my
men to
grandmother wanted to
cry.
give my father, and someone just took it. And my dad is not one to give up. And he's taken out multiple loans, but the legal fees have nearly bankrupted us. The cops won't help. The banks move too slow. So we're just stuck. And it's killing him.
And it's killing
And I
her,
hate to see him
too.
hurting like this, but I don't know how to help. So if anyone out there has any advice, please contact me. And
Will
help
the
me
video
save
go
our family
viral?
home before it's too late. Hey, I thought you were going to meet with the lawyers today.
I was. Look, I decided to just let the house go.
What? You're just gonna give up just
Can't
like
live like this
that?
anymore. I mean, it's so expensive. It's so stressful. Like you said, it's just a house.
You're gonna give up just like that?
Well, do you want to take one last drive by it to say goodbye?
Like that.
Oh, there they are. Look.
Tell us how you
viral.
feel. I don't know what's going on.
Your daughter's TikTok video on the squatter?
viral.
It went viral.
1 million
Turns out
likes.
the squatter's name is Jake
Sullivan.
He's been ruining people's lives for a long time
He's
now.
a life ruiner.
Internet sleuths were able to
He's a
find out
stealer.
where the house was based on your video and a picture. And they've been camped out ever since.
Oh, I hear someone coming. Hey,
That's
there he is.
him.
Why'd you do it?
What does it say for
What are you
yourself?
gonna say for yourself?
How many houses have you been squatting in?
How many houses
Why'd
did
you do it?
steal?
Where are you going next?
What are you gonna do
Is that
next?
even your car?
I bet that ain't even his car.
So it's over. The house is ours?
Yeah. Guys like that, they hate publicity. It ruins their business. And once your TikTok went viral, it's just a matter of time. But that is just the beginning of the good news.
The people rallied around your story and raised over
$500,000
$500,000 to help you with your debt for fighting for your house.
Wow. I mean, that's way more than I owe.
I think I know what we can do with the extra
Way-
money.
Way more.
What are you doing? Why are you doing this?
Well, actually, it was my daughter's idea.
It was always daughter.
Yeah, my father and I started this foundation to help people who are dealing with squatters. I mean, we know how hard it is to fight it alone, so
Yeah, it is
We're
really
here to help.
difficult to fight alone.
Thank you.
Thank you so
and
much.
He tried to evict that person, but it never worked.
I don't know how I'm going to repay you.
There's really no need. I believe the universe will.
Pay you.
Because, you know, whenever you help someone, it'll always come back to you.
Exactly. When you least expect it, it'll come back to you.
Thank you.
You'd be surprised.
Your grandmother would be so proud of you.
Something that her grandma would be
But you
proud of.
promised to get me a new MacBook Pro.
I know, sweetie.
Wait, stop. So, before I get to the second part of the special, I just want to rate this. I just want to rate this part first. This is the first 500 points. So, as for the plot, I'm gonna rate it 116 out of 125. As for the comedy, I'm gonna rate it 108 out of 115. Wait, no, that's not comedy. That's more like drama. But drama is 108 out of 115. Characters, I'm gonna give it 83 out of 95. And the flow, I'll give it a 79 out of 90. And the ending is 75 out of 75. So overall, 461 out of 500. Again, this is for the first part so far. So let's continue on with the second part next.
Thank you.
Your
And then
grandmother
I'm
would be
going to
so
rate
proud
that
of you.
part, and then I'm going to add it to, and then I'm going
But
to
you
combine them
promised to
together.
get me a new MacBook Pro.
I know, sweetie, and we will.
But now is not the right time.
The deal was that if I got straight A's this semester, you'd buy me a new laptop, and I did. Now it's your turn to live up to your promise.
Jenna, we are very, very proud of the work you've done. But
nothing. You're breaking your word again.
that's not fair.
We aren't saying no. We're just asking for some patience.
I am so sick of you lying to me. Get out of my room.
We're not lying to you, sweetie. If you would just give us a moment to explain everything, please. If you would just let us.
Sick of it. Sick of them. It's not fair.
I've seen this before in Darman Bonus, but I'm going to be reacting to it here. It looked like she was going to... Do not tell me that...
Jenna, sweetie?
Please do not tell me that that she did what I thought she was going to do.
Kirk! Kirk!
What is it?
She's gone! Oh my God! Where did she go?
Well, you're not seeing her body on the ground.
She'll be back. You'll see.
No,
She's just blowing off some steam.
No, how would you know?
Because she's my daughter. I did the same thing when I was her age. She'll
You
be back.
did it
Trust
too?
me.
Remember, you're better off being alone with a bear than with a man.
You shouldn't be here. It is really dangerous for you to be out here all by yourself.
I'm fine.
Here, let me give you a hand up. There's a safer place up this way. Follow me. So what's your story? Why is a young girl like you out here all by herself?
It's my mom. We had a fight.
Must have been a
There
big
must have
one.
been a big fight.
Yeah. But then again, all we do lately is fight.
Families fight
Yeah, families
sometimes.
fight sometimes.
Maybe.
It's just how you
But it's like-
resolve them, how you come
My
back
mom
from
always
them.
has to go out of her way to prove that she doesn't care about me at all.
She must care a little.
Look, you'll deal with
I just
highs
don't
and
get
lows with your family. And that's just a
Girl,
part
your
of
story
life.
ain't
That's
original.
just a part
I
of any
promise you
dynamic.
that. I've heard it
Even
all
friendships.
living out here on these streets. Come on, what'd she do?
It's what she didn't do. She promised to buy me a new laptop if I got straight A's, which I did.
So you're telling me you're out here all alone on these streets because your mother didn't buy you a computer?
Exactly. You're
Sure,
out
you
here
say
on the
like that, it
streets
sounds
because
nuts.
your mother didn't buy you a
But
computer.
it's more than that
really?
one thing, though. It's like every time I want anything, even things that I earned, she tells me no. I mean, I'm basically a grown-up now. I should be able to decide things for myself.
There's something you should see.
Yeah. She's getting worked up over a computer.
This is where you live?
You're welcome to stay. I know
She
it's
got-
not much,
she got
but
into an argument
you're a lot
with her
safer
mother
here
over
than
a
out there by
computer.
yourself.
Thanks.
What I want to show you is up here. I know you think you have
Look
it
at all
tough,
these people.
but you're not the only teenager in our camp. Over there we
Here's
have
Dylan.
Dylan.
First
Dylan
one.
ran away from home because his father was a drunk who would physically abuse him. Poor thing is still having nightmares.
PTSD. Next victim, JD.
JD over there lost his parents in a fire about a year
Lost
ago.
parents.
They put him in a foster home, but his new foster family was just using him to get money every week from the state. They turned the crawl space in the attic into his room and they would lock him in there
days.
for days at a time. Eventually, he ended up running away and joined us about 3 months ago.
Next victim, Carly.
And then there's Carly. For her, running away was a matter of life or death. You see, her parents were junkies. And she would go weeks at a time without eating
Weeks?
anything at all because her parents
I'm surprised
would
that
spend
she's
the
still
money
alive.
chasing their next fix. She eats more now living on the streets than she did living at home, if you could believe that.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
What I'm saying is that these kids have real problems. They ain't got no choice but to be out here on the streets.
Yeah.
You do.
My problems are
Yeah,
real
but they're not
problems.
as big as those people's.
Prove it to me.
What? How?
Go back home. Look at your parents.
This is a
They're
nightmare.
missing you. But
Where
think about
is
your
she?
parents. They miss
We've
you.
called everybody we've
Go
known.
back to them.
I'm sure she's okay.
Tell them how much you
She
love
just
them.
needs some time.
What if she's not? What if she needs us? God, we should have just been honest with her and told her the truth.
Honey, we talked about all this.
You hear that? Look at the expression on their faces.
But if she would have just known that you lost your job and we can't even afford to pay for the mortgage, then she would have understood about the computer.
It wouldn't do Jenna any good to have to worry about all of that on top of being a
I'm
teenager.
so worried about her.
Look at the expression on their faces. You see that?
Sounds like she cares an awful lot about you.
I had no idea what they were going through.
So go back home and apologize for making your mother so worried.
You can do this. Be strong.
I can't. It's too embarrassing. I feel like such a brat. They probably hate
But
me
you
now
must
anyway.
do it.
Trust me, they don't care about any of that.
Be strong.
did you
can
know?
do it.
Because I had a daughter. She was about your
I
age
think I
and we
saw
got
this
in this
video from
massive
Dhar
fight
Bonus, but I'm
over
not
a
gonna
guy
tell you
she
what
wanted to date. And I did not approve. We said some nasty things to one another. She threatened to run away. So I told her to leave. But I didn't mean it. I just wanted to teach her a lesson. But she went.
She died.
2 nights later, she was
Killed by a
killed
drunk driver.
by a drunk driver. Plowed into the parked car where she was sleeping.
Into the car where she was sleeping.
I'm sorry.
There was a drunk driver.
I never got a chance to apologize for the harsh words I said that night. And now I would give anything for 1 minute with my daughter.
So you should go in there.
To be able to hold her one more time, tell her I'm sorry and that I love her.
So for all those reasons...
And now I will never get that chance
So for all
again.
those reasons, you will go in there and you're gonna tell your parents how sorry you are. You can do this. Be strong.
After she was gone, I could not handle the grief. I checked out of everything. My job, my friends, my life. Next thing I knew, I was living on the streets. And I've been here ever
Living on the
since.
street.
Don't make the mistake that I did.
Don't.
Don't push away the people
Never
that
push
matter
away
the
the people
most.
that matter the most.
We have such a limited time with them while we're on this world.
Right.
Take advantage of
And every
every
opportunity
single
you have
moment you have with them.
Say your sorries. You can do this.
Thank you.
Be strong. Go in there and apologize to them. Say your sorries.
I didn't take my key.
Oh my God. God.
I'm so sorry for being a brat and for running away.
Honey, I'm so happy you're home. And look, the truth is we just can't afford
Oh, it's okay. I don't need the MacBook. All I need are you two.
Okay, come on. I got you inside.
It's her sister. But that was just profound from what I've seen. That video that I've seen, that was just very profound and very emotional. I enjoyed it a lot. So, as for the plot, I'm gonna rate it 122 out of 125. As for the comedy, wait, no, not comedy. As for the drama, I'll rate it 112 out of 115. The characters, 93 out of 95. The flow, 86 out of 90. And the ending, 75 out of 75. So overall, 488 out of 500. So as for the Squatter Steals Home from Family video, I rated that 461 out of 500. And as for the Doorman bonus, I rated that 488 out of 500. So the overall rating, 949 out of 1000. So thank you so much for watching this, and keep liking, commenting, and subscribing.